Yeah, wow, guys, I'm so glad I caught the stream in time. Should we watch it? Let's go. Is this different to what we've already seen? This isn't the same trailer, is it?
Hello, everyone. I'm Holly Longdale,
Holly!
the executive producer of World of Warcraft, and I'm here today with our lead combat designer, Brian Halinka. We're excited to be here with you to talk about Dragonflight pre-patch. First, though, we wanted to take a moment to thank you, our incredible community, for taking this journey with us. We are thrilled to invite you into Azeroth as WoW embarks on its latest adventure.
With the second part of pre-patch starting to roll out today, we wanted to check in and catch everyone up on what's happening in WoW. There's been a lot going on in the lead up to Dragonflight. We've added a whole lot to the game already. First off, the first UI revamp in the history of World of Warcraft is live. UI's received a fresh, updated look that improves the visual fidelity while increasing the customizability of tons of HUD elements like the minimap, action bars, and unit frames. The brand new class talent trees are not—
This is gonna be a pause video. They were like, oh, Overwatch 2 got a really basic ass revamp of the UI. Why not us?
Now in the hands of players around the world.
I can see it now. I get it.
This is a project I've worked very closely with my team on. It's really cool to have that out in the hands of players now.
I remember when I first got into Classic, just the joy of earning a point, and spending a point, and experimenting with my character and my playstyle.
You know, customization is a big theme of Dragonflight, and these trees represent a revolution on how classes are constructed and played in World of Warcraft. It empowers players with greater control over the abilities that end up in their spellbook, and it's a deeper level of customization that gives meaningful options at every level.
Also, starting today—
I'm sorry, I can't take it seriously. I know that we shouldn't gatekeep gaming, but why is there like a 45-year-old dad that's like, you know, pretty good looking, so passionate about WoW? Like, what would he know? Like, I don't know, man. I just think maybe it's the tight jeans. I can't. Gamer? Nice.
As access rolls out, Drakthir will be playable
his
across
job.
the world if you pre-purchase Dragonflight.
That's what I mean.
This is just the beginning of a bright future together.
We have Taryn and Anna, who will stop in to share more on the story of the expansion.
And then, stay with us to hear Graham and Kali talk a little more about how the Drakthir have evolved since Alpha. And with that, it's time for the world—
The maker of the game is hot. He's a dilf.
Premiere.
We did well, boys. We did well.
World of Warcraft, Dragonflight.
We did well.
Let's take a look.
Okay, trailer incoming. Was that called Taryn riding? Like, they look normal. No, is that a gnome? Wait, I don't know what that is. It looks like a DreamWorks animation. Oh, fuck it, it's Avatar! Let's go! Oh, it's a dwarf. Ah. Oh, pretty. It's like James and the Giant Peach. Run, James! If you haven't seen that movie, you will get the reference. There's like this thing in the sky that's like chasing James and the Giant Peach. It's pretty dramatic. Is that Alex Plaza? Nice. That's pretty good. That's pretty good.
Dragons!
That was awesome.
Oh man, the team worked so hard. Just thank you so much for all your incredible work. So Taryn, you're a huge part of the narrative for Dragonflight, and I had the privilege to direct the trailer we just saw, so
let's dive in. Earlier this year, we saw the first Dragonflight cinematic and witnessed the return of the dragons to their ancestral home, the Dragon Isles. But this all-new cinematic really strives to show what lies in store for the player when they themselves answer the call.
yeah, we really wanted to show the return to adventure. We've been away for a little while in the Shadowlands, and now we're coming back to Azeroth. And for me, when I play WoW, it's exciting and thrilling, and there's danger, but there's also moments of beauty and awe and wonder. And so that was really, really important, I think, to capture.
She did a really good job
and we knew
of that
from the get-go
trailer.
that we wanted a Horde and Alliance to fly together. I think that when we were trying to capture, like, who could these characters be? Wildhammer Dwarf, the first Griffin riders, because they'll love to fly. And then we had
I noticed that.
Zandalari Troll, who grew up around giant dinosaurs. He probably has like animal handling +10. And it's kind of a little bit playfulness between them, youth and experience, heart and head. But ultimately, they're flying, they're dragon companions. That's gonna be a huge part of the game. And if it wasn't enough dragons there, you get to be a dragon.
Get to play a dragon. And as we saw in the Dragonflight Legacy series that we released in the last couple weeks, which if you haven't seen, go check that out.
Go watch.
We saw the origin of the Drakthir, this new race to
I've
World
not
of
seen chapter
Warcraft,
3 yet.
but with an ancient history that goes back many thousands of years. In fact, long before he was Deathwing, the Black Dragon Neltharion created the Drakthir to be his loyal soldiers by taking the essence of the mortal races and of dragons and colliding them together to create just an incredibly powerful, versatile adversary.
Their story, I think, resonates with a lot of people because they are stepping into the power, they're discovering who they are. It was one of those really special kind of stories that touches your heart. The power resonates from inside their core and then travels around in all the swirling colors of all the aspects and then coalesces into the ability that they want to use. And then Eternity Surge, which is that power-up move. And they literally
celestial
stomp into
rainbow
their
looking
power.
thing.
Ability spreads down their wings and they leap in the air and there's an arcane blast and you're like, whoa! And when I saw that, I was like, oh, we have to do that. In our hyper-real style and cinematics, our effects artists and our animators will just dial to 11. And it was a really special moment when that came together.
Right in the middle of the cinematic, though, we saw the debut of Razageth,
Yeah, who is that?
primal dragon, the Storm
The Storm Eater. She is a dragon unlike anything we've ever seen, that elemental power that she has. And when we were making her in the cinematic, she's huge, and we wanted to show that scale. When we do these hyper-real pieces, we have to think about the realism, the realisticness. What does the inside of a dragon mouth look like? Our art director was like, have you ever seen the inside of a penguin's mouth?
A penguin.
And we were like, nope. And then, you know, it was like, oh my gosh, they're terrifying. So we wanted her jaws coming out the screen, almost eating the camera.
Everything about her just demonstrating this, ability to move the elements at her whim. So getting back to Dragonflight Legacies for a second, we did see the birth of the original 5 flights, the ones that we're familiar with in World of Warcraft, that have been at our sides throughout all the expansions, all the way back to Cataclysm and even before. We saw how they were bestowed each with tremendous powers over certain domains as protectors of Azeroth. While the green dragons were given domain over nature and the Emerald Dream, while the bronze dragons were given the magics of time. And then we have the black dragons, stewards of the deep places of the earth, and the blue dragons, which are just these arcane protectors of the magics of the world. Finally, the red dragonflight, the flight of life, rebirth. And all of those things are completely encapsulated in the Queen of the Dragons.
It's terrifying.
She's a beloved character in WoW, and when we first saw her in the announcement cinematic, you could feel like the global, like, yes! And that was super powerful, and in this cinematic, we thought it was super important to show who she is, right? So to me, she's grace, she's regalness, she has like an ancient wisdom to her, but also when she breathes fire, It's not destruction. It's renewal. It's regrowth.
It's a breath
She's
of
the
life.
life finder. Yeah, exactly.
pretty
So
cool.
when we fly off into the sunset with her and the dragons, that's what we're going to. We're going for adventure. We're going for exploration. We're going for wonder. And we're going with one of the best characters, I think, in WoW.
And those are really some of the core themes of Dragonflight: renewal, rebirth. What are our legacies? What do they mean? All of these things are coming to bear in the story of Dragonflight. And we'll get to adventure with Alexstrasza, right? We get to talk to her, we get to be there with her. Also with Rathian, Kalikos, Nosdormu, all of these legendary dragons we'll meet and interact with throughout our adventures on the Dragon Isles. And it's just shaping up to be an experience we can't wait for everyone to try out.
I love all those characters, so just like, it's gonna be fun.
Same.
Let's talk about favorite shot.
Okay.
What's your favorite shot in the show?
I'll
On
tell
three?
you. I'll tell you.
All
Yeah,
right.
yeah,
1, 2, 3.
Tuskar in a boat. They have little baby Tuskars too. They're so cute. So, yeah, fan favorite. Yes. With all this talk about dragons, now is the time for the players to jump in, create their own legacy, and make their very own Drakthir.
But we
Brandon
can't.
Foley
We
up
have to wait
next
for
to teach you
tomorrow.
exactly how to be the best Drakthir you can be. Stay tuned.
Nice.
You have awakened to face a shattered past and an uncertain future. Yet the threads of fate weave a new path.
Today, we fight for each other. For all Drakthir.
By wing or by talon, we will see it done. Show no mercy to these aberrations.
This is our home. The Drakthir will defend it.
That was amazing.
That was awesome. I loved seeing those. It makes me so excited for folks to finally be able to get in there and make their Drakthir Evoker.
There are just so many options you have for both your Drakthir form and your Visage form. I love that we started with a lot of options, and then players are like, hey, can we get
Okay. Wait.
some more in the alpha? And we're like, okay, have a bunch more.
Oh, I did like that. The one thing that I really, really, really like about the Evokers is the customization. There's just so many. So many. Another Callie. Where? I want to go back to the Dilf. Who are you? Lead combat designer. Okay. Well, I hate combat, so.
Hello, everyone.
Ryan. So what are these guys
The fact
talking
that I
about?
can add spikes to my arm, scales on my Drakthir. Players are going to be able to try in the Forbidden Region. You know, blowing destruction
And then I picked your character up and put you on a pillar.
and then you flew away and left me there.
That sounds about right. Yeah, that plays right.
Aside from the physicality, the mobility, I'm also
Fear that are on the move. Other forces are stirring too.
Brian!
iconic magic. Then with our pre-patch event, Tempest Unleashed, which starts today with regional resets.
Holly and Brian are going to tell us more about it.
As pre-patch rolls out, it's not only the Drakthir that are on the move. Other forces are stirring too.
Primal storms are erupting throughout Azeroth as the presence of the primalist forces begin to take hold. Earth, ice, fire, and wind.
Cool.
And they appear in iconic locations across Azeroth, bringing elemental-infused enemies with them. Defeating these enemies gives you an opportunity to summon an imposing boss elemental who offers a weekly reward to everyone who defeats them. It's a great way to gear up your characters to be ready to jump right into the new expansion. Also available with
Nice.
pre-patch is a return to the Alderman dungeon. This updated version of the classic dungeon tells a new story while preserving the feel of the original.
You guys
Now
didn't say it
available
was
at
this
60 on
one!
normal difficulty, and it offers unique loot that is only available during this limited time.
Thank you so much for joining us.
We hope you enjoy the pre-patch event. We can't wait to see you on
Aw.
November 28th, where we'll uncover the secrets of the Dragon Isles together.
It's going to be an excellent adventure. Before we go, though, let's roll that beautiful cinematic one more time. And we'll see you in Azeroth.
You guys didn't say it was that dungeon. I like that one. That one's pretty nice. Do you know, I do have a question though. Obviously, the class Demon Hunter is locked to Night Elves only. However, Night Elves can be multiple different classes. But this time, they've introduced a brand new class that is locked to a brand new race. Which is the first time they've ever done this? Question mark? Because now, pandas can be more than monks. Does that mean that Dragthir is forever going to be locked to Evoker? Or do you reckon in an expansion or two time, probably 2 expansions, they'll spin it to be like, well, the Dragthir has, like, you know, got to know everyone else in Azeroth a bit more, so they've learnt how to be a warrior, or they've learnt how to be a doo-doo, and they'll unlock it for everyone. I'm curious. But yeah. 10 out of 10 trailer! Did like.